So it's like the chicken and egg. As compared to the European nations, I think getting visa in Japan is not so difficult.
Namaste!
Today's guest is Yogi-san.
Yogi-san! Yes! Okay, so today we will ask about job in Japan to him.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay, so can you give us some self-introduction?
So, namaskar, namaste, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
My name is Yogi, and I am living in Japan for more than 20 years now.
20 years.
Yes, I came to Japan in the late 1990s.
Wow.
And as a student on a scholarship, as a scholarship student. So I was born in India in 1977 near Mumbai. I was in Mumbai until my middle school. Then I went to Pune. And in Pune I did my high school and university, and I also learned Japanese language in Pune. And I also learned IT. I went to IT school.
Okay.
So in 1996 I started working in an IT company in India. When I was 19 years old. And in the next year, I also started teaching Japanese in Pune University. So
Teaching Japanese?
Yes,
You're
I
a
was.
teacher.
Yes, I was the youngest teacher in. I am the youngest teacher in Pune University.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then over time, I got this opportunity, scholarships to learn in Japan. So I came. I got 2 scholarships to come to Japan.
Okay.
Yeah. And after that, in 2001, one of the IT companies I was working for, they sent me to Japan. And then I started working in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, so first 9 years I worked in IT companies in Japan, and then from 2010 onwards I started working for bank.
Bank.
And yeah,
Okay.
and fortunately I worked at very senior. I started from testing, manual writing, then programming,
Okay.
then project management, and then
Everything you have done.
then
Wow.
and in 2019 I became the vice director of business planning division in Rakuten Bank. Yeah. And after that I decided to go into politics.
Wow.
And in 2019 I became the first Asia
Yeah.
born,
It was
first
big news.
Asian origin person to become a city councillor, elected city councillor in Japan. Of course, my future plan is to become a member of parliament in Japan. And if everything goes fine, then maybe Prime Minister of Japan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Not a joke, not a joke. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for introduction. I want to ask a lot of questions about job in Japan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, first, I want to ask what kind of job Indian can get in Japan?
That's good. Good question. I think we cannot actually give a single answer to this question.
Okay.
Because if you see India, India is a country of different cultures. It is a country of different behaviors. If you go to every state, there is a different way of behavior of people.
Yeah.
I see.
In general, in Japan, if we see right now, there is a lack of skill in all different areas. Particularly, Japan has now opened out for, say, construction industry, for hospitality industries, hospital industry,
Yeah.
Yes.
or farming industry,
Yeah.
fisheries industry.
Exactly.
So these are the opportunities that Japan is giving right now. I personally think like India is not prepared for these jobs yet.
Okay.
In India we have more people learning automated machines or those kind of things. But India is still, or maybe construction industry is also fine. Maybe people can do something, but in Japan, you know, the construction style is totally different than the one in India.
Oh, okay.
So I think a special skill development needs to be done in India if people have to work in Japan. That is number one. So the work specific skill needs to be developed. Number one. The number 2 is the soft skills. Say the way of communication, the way of life, the way of food, the way of eating. These are soft skills. So people also need to learn these kind of skills.
I see.
And the third and most important is people need to learn the language.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you say construction, if you say fishery, if you say hospital industry, the medical care industry, all these industries, Japan is very special. Japan does things very differently. It is not the same as you do in India or as you do in US. Japan is very different. So actually people need to understand these differences, and they need to actually learn these differences.
Okay.
And Japanese they must learn Japanese. Right now we have IT engineers from India,
IT engineers.
Yeah, we have a lot of salespeople from
Sales?
India. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Because see, even Japanese companies have to go and sell in India.
Yeah.
Many Japanese companies are opening plants in India. So
I see.
they need these kind of
Yeah.
managerial people, sales people kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then-
Sales for global, so not,
Yes,
not
yes.
for Japan.
Not for
Global
Japan.
sales.
Not
I
for
see.
Japan. Then third thing is we have Indian cooks here.
Cooks.
Yeah.
Ah.
Then we have a few Indian businessmen.
Businessmen.
Yeah, typically those who bring things like cotton or things like spices or things like diamonds.
That's the
jewelry.
diamond. Ah.
So they bring from India and they sell in Japan kind of
I
or
see.
tea.
Okay.
So those kind of commodities. So those kind of businessmen are there. But I think roughly that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, very few people in other industries. So I think India has a lot more to do with Japan, many opportunities. But in order to work in Japan, or in order for India to work with Japan,
Yeah.
I think the skill development in India has to scale up. It has to do something differently.
Indian person want to work in Japan. I know that it depends on the work, but how much of Japanese is required to work in Japan?
Yeah. It will depend again on the industry you are working in. There are industries like IT which needs a lot of communication, because Japanese people are not so open, not so talkative. They
Yeah.
don't talk out everything they need. Particularly in the IT industry, I think Japanese skills are required. But suppose if you go to specific industries like construction or even medical care and all, not so much of communication may not be required. But you need to know the specific jargons and some simple grammar. I think maybe 10 patterns of grammar telling the present tense, past tense, future tense, negating or asking for permission, or explaining in very simple terms and using the right words. That is required. I don't think if you go into specific industries, so much of communication is required. That amount of Japanese can be built up in 6 months with a good course kind of.
Okay.
I think that can be done.
Okay, so for that situation, N4 is fine.
Yeah, right now I think N4 is fine. If somebody is having N3, that should be too quite enough.
Okay.
Quite enough. But then again, like beyond N3 or N4, you have to build up your vocabulary, the words. You have to
Exactly.
increase your dictionary, and people need to keep talking. It's not just about exam. They need to be able to use that Japanese language. And the problem is people normally don't practice. They don't read, or they use too many books. What I would say is just one simple book like Nihongo Shoho, which I love. I like the most. Some
Nihongo
people don't
Shoho.
like Nihongo Shoho. I will recommend Nihongo Shoho. It's an old book. Now it's probably out of print also. I'm not sure, but it is the best book I have seen. The kind of step up that book has is the best in the world.
Okay.
Over any book, I feel that.
Okay, so next question. How to find job in Japan?
Okay.
Yeah.
What to find job in Japan?
I think this is one difficult part of it.
Yeah.
And it is because actually again language is a big barrier in Japan, number one.
Language.
So most of the things are in Japanese. And the second thing is most of the companies in Japan, they don't actually publish their job opportunities on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if you are trying to search something on the internet, you won't be able to find the right information. So still employment in Japan is quite agent oriented. So many times, especially like somebody wants to come from India to Japan, if the person is high skilled, if it's like IT or accounting or management kind of jobs, or international companies in Japan, person can go directly to the website of the companies. So first the person has to find out which all companies in that area of interest or the industry they would like to work in. First find out which are the maybe top 10, top 20 companies, and then they can select out which companies they would like to apply or look for. Then they go to their specific websites and then find out if there are any job opportunities. So if like international companies in Japan like Toshiba and Hitachi and all, they might have some job opportunities on their website. But other small companies normally they don't put it on their website.
Exactly.
So there are two ways. One is like there are recruitment agents in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either go to their websites and register your CV, your resume on their websites, and then wait for the information.
Yeah.
Or otherwise you can go to HR agents available in India.
HL agent.
HR agents.
HL agent.
Yeah. Jinsai Shokai agents, which are available, Japanese agents which are available in India, and talk to them. However, one most important thing is actually not go into the fake stories, because there are many people who give fake stories. They take money from the people and they don't give job opportunities. So people have to be very careful about this. First thing is you should have enough skills. That is the first thing. Many people try to come without having enough skills, and that is a real problem. Then people also try paying money, giving bribe. So that's not at all good, because ultimately people won't be happy by doing that. There will be some problem in the future.
Yeah.
So I would actually request the people not to do all those things. Go to overseas or do any job that you can do by yourself.
Yeah.
No fake documents, no fake stories, no fake visas. I will actually not recommend that. And then either they can see the websites or reach out to some agent. Now in India they have the skill development schools. These schools also have connections, so they can go to the schools, they can talk to them. Those are the avenues I think right now. Yeah, or otherwise another thing is like they can come to the language schools in Japan, and they can, while studying in the language school, they can do part-time jobs and they can start searching for jobs. But unless they really work hard on their language and they have some good basic skill, and the language is also good, I think it will be difficult to find a job. It will be all waste of money, because the language schools are not so cheap. I think for 1 year they will spend around 5 lakh rupees to 6 lakh rupees as a fees.
Wow.
Yeah, as a fees.
Yeah.
Then also they will have to spend on their living cost, the home cost, food cost. Of course they can do part-time jobs, but then it is so tiring.
Yeah.
So people have to be careful, I think.
日本語学校 like compared to Indian college fee, it's so expensive, right?
Yeah. So by learning initial Japanese in India and then just learning some good high level Japanese in Japan, they can reduce the cost of learning
確かに
Japanese.
確かに
最初に簡単なことをインドで学んじゃって、でもコミュニケーションみたいなレベル高いことは日本でやっちゃおう。それが安いってことですよ。
そうですね。レベルを上げてちょっとそのコミュニケーションだとかちょっと高いレベルの日本語とかそれを日本でやった方がいい。
確かにそれがいいですね。日本語でもめっちゃ難しいですよね、勉強する。
人によるけど、でもやっぱり文字的には全然概念が違うから確かにハードルは高いと思います。
Okay, so let's go for visa question. Is it difficult to get visa, Japanese visa for Indian?
Yep. As compared to the European nations, I think getting visa in Japan is not so difficult.
Oh, is it not so difficult?
Not so difficult. Because if a skilled person is trying to go to Europe, they have to go to the prometric centers and they have to take official tests, and only after the official test they can apply for the visas and all. So Japan is still not like that.
Okay.
So in Japan, even if you are not having so much of skills, you can still come to Japan.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying it's easier. You cannot get a visa without having a job offer.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to have a job offer to get a working visa. So, and coming from India, like if you are coming from Europe or US, you can get actually work holiday, or you can get some designated activities kind of visa if you are coming from the US or Europe. But if you are coming from a country like India or China, you don't get actually work holiday visa or designated activity visa. It is very not difficult, but almost impossible. So normally in Japan, you first of all you need to have a job offer, a letter of job offer, based on which then you can apply for your visa. But in Japan, many of the companies, rather than offering job and then applying for the visa, they say, if you have a visa, we'll give you a job. So it's like the chicken and egg. So it's like whether you have the job first or your visa first, and that's the whole problem there.
Yeah.
So from the work perspective, finding the job is the first step. Then going to the visa is the second step.
I see.
Of course, understanding the visa, what kind of visas are there in Japan, that is also one homework people can do. There are many types of visas. normal work permit, humanities, technical work permit, or engineering visa kind of. So and then there are high skill visas.
High
High
skill
skill
visa.
visa.
High skill visas, which are only for very high skilled people who have done their masters or who have very high good percentage in schools, who have done engineering studies, or those who know Japanese very well, kind of, or those who have very high salaries. Those people actually get high school visas. High skill visas. And if you have high skill visa, then you can also bring your parents to Japan. So,
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So those are some better points.
if a person doesn't have high skills like normal visa, they're not able to bring
Not
their
so
family
easy.
and
Just for on a tourist visa, yes.
tourist.
But if it is high skill visa, then you can bring your parents for a longer term.
Okay, this is the next one. Some Indian people is worried, anxious about like cost of living in Japan is like especially in Tokyo. It's so high. It's like they're anxious about it. So, what do you think about it?
Yep. First of all, if I have to compare globally, I think Japan is not so expensive. You can actually have a lot of choices even in Tokyo. In Tokyo, of course, if you are living near a specific train station, then the rents or the food could be expensive, vegetables could be expensive. But if you are actually going a bit far, 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from the station, then basically your rents could be lower. Or even within Tokyo, if you are going a bit outside of the center of Tokyo, then of course you can manage your rents. And in Japan now, there are also share houses. So you can live in share houses for something like monthly $300 or $350 monthly kind of. So I think that's a very fair amount. Because even if you in Mumbai or Pune, if you go, actually I think you will pay that much of rent in Pune as well. And from food perspective, I think people can cook by themselves. And people can save money actually. So I think that's not so expensive. But if somebody is coming with a family, then of course you have to maintain a standard of living. And if kids are coming, then the education cost is there. So when all these person coming single, I think the person can manage through different ways. But if a person is coming with a family, then particularly education and all could sound expensive. But again, you have choices like if you send your kid to the public school, this education is anyway free. So but the education will be in Japanese language.
This is really helpful for Indians. Thank you very much.
And the most important part about we should be talking about is when foreigners or Indians are coming to Japan, it's about how to gel with the society over here. Because many people come to Japan, they don't know Japanese language, they don't know anything about Japan, they don't know the rules for the day-to-day living over here. And Japan is actually process-oriented country. So everything has a process and everything has a set of rules. So people need to be keen on learning those things, understand the Japanese culture and Japanese food. Vegetarian people have some problem in Japan. But I think if you can cook at home, I think it is manageable, not a problem. And one more thing I would like to talk about is about the dressing sense in Japan. In Japan, people don't like so many colorful clothes. So, but still, I also use the colorful clothes sometimes. I do use sometimes. When I want to feel energetic, kind of, I do use. But the clothing sense in Japan is totally different. So, and particularly like necktie or coat for men, and proper business dress for the women. I think people actually need to learn the dressing sense also in Japan. I'm not so saying that you become Japanese, but of course people can pick up some good life etiquettes and business etiquettes. They have luckily come to Japan, and that will actually help them live peacefully as well. So that's it from my side. Yes.
Thank you.
めちゃくちゃ勉強になる。
私たちもなんかね、なかったしてもらった。
The Indian who want to work in Japan will watch this video 3 times at least.
At least
30 times.
30 times. So thank you for teaching us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming all the way.
Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
And keep watching. Bye-bye.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
3 times.
30 times.